That was sickening last week, by the way.
What? What is going on with you here?
No, it's not. What is this stuff on here? We're Hockey Night in Canada, and we're talking about saving the world and all that stuff. Let's talk hockey.
Well, that's the whole idea behind December the 25th.
Let's talk about some good guys.
Okay.
Let's talk about the troops.
I don't think you can really relate to it on an economic level. It's hideous almost any way you cut it, I think. Like, in Canada, obviously, hockey is kind of the sport. I mean, Phoenix has the Coyotes, who were the Jets, the Winnipeg team. Winnipeg couldn't afford a team. Winnipeg is like a crumbling city, and especially in the 90s it was. Schools crumbling, hospitals crumbling, and now everybody wants, there's talk of Phoenix leaving, going to Canada. And there's talk of, like, people in Winnipeg are like, oh, let's bring the Jets back, forgetting, you know, like, we have, like, wait 8 hours to see a doctor these days, which in Canada is a long time. You know, even if you're bleeding from the face, and the schools they're inadequate. We don't have money for anything, so we're going to pay these ridiculous salaries of these professional players. You know, it's absurd. I relate to sport more on, like, purely like the spiritual level. Like I appreciate the effort and the speed, the skill, the intensity of those sports, and the drama, you know, and just people pushing their bodies and their minds, you know, as far as they can to pull things off. It's, you know, it's like the Olympics. You know, I like the spirit behind that, the idea of a global sports festival, but the Olympics is the ultimate expression of corporate sports that comes in, ruins a city, makes a few people rich, and then sweeps a bunch of poor people away, and then leaves, everybody pulls up and leaves, and the city's left with this big mess afterwards. It happens time and time again. Every city knows it. It's had the Olympics. So.
And it's about to happen again in Canada.
Yep, in Vancouver in 2010. Yeah, there's sort of a sizable kind of movement against it, like not big enough that it'll probably disrupt it, but it's big enough that it'll get some national media attention. It's mostly, or not mostly, but it's a large part of that is from Indigenous Canadians, like First Nations people who, like BC, British Columbia, where the Olympics will be held, is actually kind of an interesting legal example of unceded Aboriginal land, where Canada just assumes, like totally ignores the fact that there are no treaties signed for most of British Columbia, and so in the legal status of the province, most of it is still Aboriginal land, but everybody acts like it's, you know, belongs to Canada. So that part's interesting too.
Why don't we all strap bombs to our chests and ride our bikes to the next G7?
I don't know. I don't know if there's any meaningful ones to attach to in corporate sports. Like, I think, again, like in Winnipeg, where we're from, every week we play, you know, community street hockey with whoever shows up. Doesn't matter your skill level, gender, everything. It's everybody in there going, having a good time. And to me, that's the essence of sport. Like, that's where, and actually community hockey rinks in our town too. Like, there's community hockey rinks everywhere. There's no corporate sponsorship. You're not gonna, you know, there's just no money. It's the community goes there and runs the community center, and everybody, you know, sweeps off the ice, and kids are skating around and having a good time. And that's what I think the essence of sport should be. It's like a community-based phenomenon. It's hard not to get caught up in it. I mean, because at that level, like I mentioned before, the speed, the skill, the intensity, and drama, they're all taken to another level because these are people who are dedicating their lives, like every minute of their lives, to performing these certain acts that get a puck into a net or a ball into a net, and it's crazy to watch it. You know, it's entertaining, but at the same, I just think people shouldn't have to sit there and watch it all unfold uncritically. People can still watch it and be critical of this, I guess, just the corporate aspect of it.
The luxury of fighting the hand that feeds.